I want to thank all of the staff that you see arrayed here before you from Juvenile Services. They are people who do one of the toughest jobs of any state department that we have, and especially over these last 4 challenging, difficult years, they've been doing some of the most important work that any of us can do, and that is work that saves young lives. 46% reduction in juvenile homicides compared to 3 years ago, and so far this year, knock on wood, a 38% reduction in non-custodial juvenile homicide. So you all are making a difference, and you're making a big difference in improving this department's ability to serve the most vulnerable kids in our state. You know, there's an Old Testament saying that if you save just one life, it's as if you saved the entire world. So imagine all of the lives that you're touching, that you're affecting by the lives that you're saving, and what that means for future generations. I mean, you never know what God puts in one individual to be able to do, provided they're able to live that full life. So today we are here to announce an important milestone for Baltimore City, the Juvenile Justice Center, and it is this. After 3 years of federal oversight, the Justice Center has reached full compliance with federal monitoring requirements, which now sets the stage for the Justice Center's release from federal oversight. Now that's thanks to the hard work of the staff that you see before us. The center has made improvements in 29 identified areas that were identified by the federal monitor. Now this is the third facility that has reached full compliance with federal monitoring. This dates back initially to 2005 or 2003. I know that investigation began of this center in 2005. That became part of the consent decree, but now this will be the third facility now to move out of federal oversight. Today's announcement comes after the Charles E. Hickey School and Cheltenham Youth Facility, which had both been under federal monitoring. They exited in 2008, for those of you that have been following. And today's announcement is helping us build on the work that is being done to improve juvenile services and save young lives in Maryland. Together, as I mentioned earlier, we've achieved a 46% reduction in juvenile homicides statewide over the last 3 years. Year to date, 38% reduction compared to last year of non-custodial juvenile homicides. We have been able together, even in the toughest of times, to increase funding for juvenile services by 27%, even as so many other aspects of our state government have seen historic cuts and spending reductions. Together, we have grown and expanded our partnerships with Baltimore City and Prince George's through Operation Safe Kids, the wraparound services for our most vulnerable youth. And together, we are sharing information on our most vulnerable youth in a much more timely, effective way, not only with one another on this side or within Maryland's borders, but also with our neighbors now in the District of Columbia and across city, county, and state government, so that we can intervene and save lives. Together, we've expanded evidence-based practices that target and youth and make sure that we get those services to those that are still amenable to treatment within their own homes. And together, we have reduced the number of youth that we have been shipping out of state, and we've reduced that by 20% because we know that they will be more likely to have a successful outcome if they're closer to supportive people that love them and care about them and that need to play a role in their return to active and productive life. Governor Martin O'Malley, I'm here at the Juvenile Justice Center, where we announced an important milestone. You know, for the last 6 years, in one way, shape, or form, our Juvenile Justice Department has been under federal oversight. Today marked the exit of the third and final facility from that federal oversight because of the strides and the improvements that have been made on 29 different objective criteria that have led to better services for our most vulnerable youth. So I'm proud of the hardworking men and women at the Department of Juvenile Services who in the toughest of times are making progress, and I'm also very heartened by their work in helping to work with local police in reducing juvenile homicides, non-custodial homicides, by 46% over the last 3 years and by 38% so far on a year-to-date basis this year. Probably nothing we do as a state is more important than saving young lives, and that's what they're doing here. Thanks a lot.